building your investment team. Every time I think about this, it makes me think of a quote from a Greek philosopher named Archimedes, and you've probably heard this before. Give me a lever big enough in a firm place to stand, and I can move the world. And for me, what that means, if I have the right resources, I leverage the right resources, it's going to make my job of getting to my pig a lot easier. So let's take a look at these. I've got 8 of them laid out. I'm going to go into detail on a few of them more than the others. They are all important and they will all be required, but I'm going to lay these out chronologically too. So if I'm jumping into a market, if I'm just getting started in my market, these are the resources that I want to build. I call market resources, relationships that I want to build first, and how I want to build them and what I'm looking for. So let's take a look at them. So real estate agent, crucial. Property manager, general contractor, project manager, title company, insurance provider, you've got to have your attorney, and you also have to have an accountant. And out of all of these, I think they all should have the requirement of, one, either being investors themselves or working with investors that invest the same way you do. And I will caution you, I heard so much through the years, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I work with people like that. Well, do you really? So what really matters, sometimes more than that, is working with people who actually invest themselves and do it with results, right? So the first thing that we're looking at is a real estate agent. And I'm looking for a real estate agent who is also an investor themselves. And even a bigger benefit, a bigger bonus is going to be an investor who has a team that's built out already and is willing to share that with you. They're going to know who to use, who not to use. They're going to have their contractors, their people to inspect the properties. They're going to have their own property management team, right? These are the things that are built out, so they've trial by fire through the years. So that's going to minimize your time, mitigate some of the time that you have going into it too. For a real estate agent, I'm going to be looking for them, obviously, to give me market consultation. Understand where the good areas are, where the bad areas are. So a lot of times we'll build our zip charts and our buy box, we'll talk about that later, off of the real estate agent's opinion. Some real estate agents will also act as project managers for you as well too. So they'll, with their established team, they will manage the project for you. And with the right title company, you can put your renovation funds in an escrow account, and then the draws can be placed against that escrow account as well too. Our real estate agents will buy and list for us, so they'll know, sometimes even know where to find the off-market deals. They will make the offers on the ones that we are purchasing, and if we are listing properties, then we also go through that agent as well too. And the more that we can offer them in return for what they're offering us, the better that relationship is going to be. We love communicating via Slack. I'm not sure if you guys use Slack. There's different platforms out there depending on what platform you're in, but Slack for us is an overarching communication platform that all of our market resources will communicate on. So as I go through the rest of these resources, everybody for us communicates off the same platform, so we can see where the conversation's going and who needs to give attention to what at when too. So it's just a great platform for us. I also have a questionnaire that I can share with you as a resource to ask your real estate agent, maybe even to ask yourself these certain things, so that way I know I'm using the right real estate agent to make these purchases, to set up these drip campaigns for me, and to lead me, help me build my team. The second person I have on this list is the property manager. And again, this could come sometimes depending on what market we're going into. Sometimes we'll find the property manager first, and then they'll lead us to a real estate agent. Or, you know, the other way around. We find the real estate agent and they lead us, they make suggestions for a property manager. I will suggest that the property manager is full-time property manager. It's not someone who also property manages. What I like to look for is people between 40 to 400 units. It really puts it in a pocket to where I know they have the economy by scale, but I'm not just another door in 1,000, 2,000 unit portfolio. So I like to have attention. I like for the property managers to know me. Some things that you want to know from the property manager is obviously how many doors, but the types of fees. So the management fee, typically we see between 8% and 10%. On the acquisition side, I always figure 10%. Repair process and cost. Do they upcharge on the repair? Is there a minimum cost for the repair person to go out? Placement of tenant and the release cost as well too. So typical placement of tenant is going to be 50% of the first month's rent. Some property managers will also charge a marketing fee, $150 marketing fee as well too. And then there's a release. So if that tenant's in place, what is the property manager going to charge to have that tenant come and sign another lease? What's the fee on the increase in rent? I also like to know from the property manager, what's the eviction process? What does that look like? Who's responsible for it? What happens if it has to go to small claims? Who's responsible for it? Who's going to be managing it? What do I expect from that property manager? As an owner working with property manager, I need to see my owner statements and the reporting process for that. So every month I need to see the expenses and the income, and what platform do they use? Do they have like Appfolio? Do they have a certain platform or a website that I can log into? I want that to be easy and I want it to be consistent. I also have another questionnaire that I could provide for you too that dives deeper on these questions and really understands the property manager. Are they tracking their metrics? If they're not tracking their metrics, are they sure that they're producing the best results for your money, for your investment? And remember, that house, your house, is an asset. And we need to make sure we take care of that, and we need to make sure that our team focuses on the quality of that asset and the lifetime of that asset as well too. Number 3, we have general contractor or project manager. And this is a very crucial piece of your team to have that dependability on. For us, knowing where our renovations cost is going to be when we acquire value add real estate. We don't do a lot of turnkey stuff. We'll acquire value add. So I need to know how much it costs. I need to work with a contractor that I can depend on, who's going to walk that property for me and give me a good dependable quote, or project manager, and really have the relationships with the other contractors. I don't want to have to go get a painter and go get an electrician and go get a plumber, and that's not my solution for passive income. So my contractor, general contractor, project manager, that's who I'm leaning on. I'm leveraging that person to have those relationships and take that part of the stress and legwork out of it for me. Some other things I like to know about the contractor are the fee structure. Is there a management fee that I can plan on each project? What's your crew size? How many jobs can you take out on one time? How many jobs are you doing right now? Quote process. Are you able to walk properties for me before I own them, when I'm making offers on them? And what's your critical document process, right? Do I get a scope of work? Do I get a W-9? Can I get a waiver of lien? Do you have insurance? Do you have general liability? Do you have workman's comp? I also have another questionnaire for you that dives deeper into these questions too, so you can really get into the particulars on what kind of general contractor this is, and or what kind of project manager this is. Top 3, super important. Finding these relationships and building on them for the acquisition side as well as into the management side, right? Real estate agent, property manager, and general contractor. I would say those are the top 3. Now, getting into these other areas, we definitely need these other people. They're more of the administrative side, right? We've got the title company, looking for an investor-friendly title company. And I like title companies where I can run the construction escrow through there too. So I make one wire, boom, to the title company, and then as the general contractor makes draw requests, the title company then issues the wire. So that all happens to the title company. I only have to make one wire. Lender is a big one. Knowing which specific product you're looking for me, I acquire properties in LLCs, and I don't need, I can't work with lenders who work inside of the Fannie Mae box, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae box, meaning that there's no saturation, meaning I don't have to have my name on title for a certain amount of time. I I can own an LLC. There's certain things, LTVs that I'm messing with. So know the specific product that you're looking for, and then go shop and find that lender who does offer that product for you. Your insurance provider, absolutely, you're in touch with them on every single property, and I'll show you in one of these videos too, the closing process, when and where we're reaching out to the insurance provider. Also another great one to have on Slack. Your attorney, setting up your LLC, making sure your lease agreements are great, just the ins and outs of the state that you're working in, having a great attorney. You've got a real estate attorney and an LLC attorney. Typically, those guys could be two different, or people could be two different attorneys, but you want to have them on your team as well too. And the final one we have in here is the accountant. The accountant plays a huge role in transparency and your ability to see how your money is performing. Making sure that your books are set up so I can see this property is, boom, performing like this. This is what I have into it, and this is my return. I need to know every single time that I want to know that this property is performing at these performance indicators, right? What's my return on investment? Do I have an eviction rate on this one? What's my vacancy rate? What's my maintenance rate? I can figure all of this with good bookkeeping. And there's a saying in bookkeeping is record everything and record often, right? So those 8 pieces of your investment team, I say in my mind, have the most important role as you develop and as you build your portfolio.